In today's video, let's explore blue chip pools. We're talking Bitcoins or ETHs or Sols or whatever you're long-term bullish on. Where do we find these pools? I'm going to show you a really easy, simple tool where you can find a lot of these pools. I also want to talk about returns. I see a lot of people get hung up. Oh, video came out, BTC was 130% return, but now it's only 80%. Is this still a good opportunity? First of all, I want to be clear. YouTube is not my full-time gig. We do produce content for YouTube. My full-time gig is in the UIG. It's with members. It's creating content for there. It's researching projects. It's doing the end-of-week reports. It's ensuring that our members always come first. So I am sometimes a few days behind posting something on YouTube, or sometimes we'll film a video, but it doesn't get released till a week after for YouTube. So just be aware of that. Use YouTube as educational purposes. 2, yields will constantly fluctuate. So we're going to look at some Bitcoin pools today. We're going to look at some ETH pools today. In the comments, let me know if you ever want me to look at anything else. These videos oftentimes are created from comments you leave on YouTube. So leave a question and we'll create content for you around it. And guess what? It's free. That's pretty cool. Volume. When volumes are higher, yields are higher. When volumes are lower, yields are lower. But all things considered, I always zoom out. Because if this is daily right here, 1 day, 2 day, or weekly, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, right? So this is let's just say weekly. And you enter something and it's at 90%. And then it kind of volume drops down because the market's not as active. Right now, the market is flat. So volumes are super low today and probably for the next couple days. We're kind of in this neutral market right now. Good time to hey, keep stacking up, keep stacking up. Now, this isn't the value of your portfolio. This is just the yields. And sometimes there's a big spike in volume, which is why we love to look to chains that are attracting volume. And, there's something released like on base chain. Maybe there's back in the day, Aerodrome was being released. We almost quadrupled our bag because you could position yourself properly. Well, volume goes crazy. You yield farm, and then volume drops, and then volume's here. Volume is going to do this all the time. Look at this chart. Volume is going to do that all the time. Big spike this last few months, making 200-300% was, you could do it on a lot of different, it wasn't that difficult nor that risky because you could do it in a lot of blue chips or at least big cap stuff. Now the volumes are slowly tapering off, and I think I'm doing a video on human biases because that's what bites a lot of investors, but they see 200%, they get so used to it, and now it's 60% for a day or even a week, and they're like, is this the right opportunity? And they keep jumping around. My question to you is, what do you want to create more of? You can have 1 Bitcoin now and then 1.1 Bitcoin later by yield farming Bitcoin, and who cares what the price of Bitcoin is doing or what the daily return is? You buy Bitcoin at $60,000. You're yield farming Bitcoin. You now have 1.1 Bitcoin. Bitcoin is now worth $50,000. Do you care? Probably not, because you see Bitcoin as a $250,000 coin maybe. And so you just want more Bitcoin so you can take advantage when the markets go crazy. That's what we're doing. People get really hung up on this impermanent loss, and they get hung up on it because they're in meme coins or things that they don't actually want to hold. But if you're in an AVAX USDC pool doing 140%, I'd have to open up my other wallet, but AVAX, we doubled our position over the last year and a half by yield farming AVAX. I didn't care what the price was doing. Let's say we had 200 AVAX, now we have 400 AVAX. I didn't care what the price is doing. I just wanted to create more of it. You can do that through yield farming. Of course, you can do that through lending different assets or staking. That's the game we play. And if my portfolio goes down 15% in value, I don't care because I'm all in things that I want to hold long term. And so, yeah, the volumes fluctuate. The volumes on BTC and ETH are down a little bit. But if we go on Crystal, use Crystal, defi.crystal.app. Awesome team. They've come in to do training in our community, and we are going to make that a recurring thing so they can come show us the DApp. They're always working on some new stuff. Really, really awesome. But you can just go down to Arbitrum here and look at some of the best blue chip pairs. Oh, hey, look, there's a wrapped ETH USDC. Now, don't get too hung up on 185 because that's just going to show you the highest returning pool. But sometimes their TVL is too low, like here. 224%, but the TVL is low. I wouldn't be interested in that. But this 4.3 million at 141%, I'm interested in that. This 8 million at 55% for ETH, And this APR is a little low right now because volumes are down. But if I can do 70, 80% on ETH, I'm really happy with that. It's like 6% a month. That's what the typical investor gets in a year. And I'm doing that in a blue chip. We highly recommend having, a large portion of your portfolio in blue chips, whether it's buy and hold, so it adds stability to your portfolio, or it's yield farming. BTCs, ETH, they've got a BTC, USDC, some pools here. And if we look at this 9.5 million, that's 52% on BTC. Not long ago, that was 120%. Again, it's fluctuating because volumes are down, so this number is down. But even if I'm doing 50, 60% on my Bitcoin, I'm happy with that. Give me more, and I'm also happy with that. Let's have a look at Base, because Base has some really awesome ETH opportunities right now. So you can flip between different blockchains down here. Let me know if you want me to do a deep dive on Crystal. Maybe we'll even get their team on, and their team can walk us through this for 10, 15 minutes, some of the hidden features, because they got some awesome stuff for automation. But the point is, we got this wrapped ETH, USDC, 1.5 million TVL, 67% on ETH, on a low-cost blockchain. And these volumes, or this APR, is down because volumes are down. Again, will this pick up? Yep. Am I still happy with 66% on a blue chip? If we actually zoom out on that, if we were able to maintain, I did the calculation, if we were able to maintain 50% a year returns overall on your portfolio, it's not that hard to do. And you did that for 5 years, even if you start with a small amount, you'll be amazed at that number. It'll be multi six figures. Even if you started with, I think, $5,000, it was going to be like multiple six figures. I think if you started with 10 grand in like 5 or 6 years, it's worth $1 million. The stuff adds up fast. But oftentimes there's a human bias of ours too, but oftentimes we're just like, well, I just want 400%. But what's 400% for a week? It's not going to change your life. But what if we're steadily doing 5, 6, 7, 8% a month, steady? This year alone, Bitcoin is up in my portfolio 350%. That would have taken me like a decade to do in traditional markets. No, more than that, in 1 year. And yeah, we did take some profits, and yeah, now we're getting back in because I think it's a good opportunity to get back in at that kind of that 60K mark. And if it goes down, do I care? No. Can I yield farm Bitcoin and still make more Bitcoin? Yes. Jump on Crystal and have a look through the different blockchains that you're kind of interested in. We could look at Polygon. I'm sure there's some Matic opportunities here. Wrap Bitcoin, USDC, ETH, there's a render opportunity, there's a Matic opportunity, 1.3 million, 52%. That's pretty sexy. Again, yields are down. I do remember doing Matic at sometimes during high volume weeks and months. Matic was at 130% plus. USDC was sometimes doing 200%. But that's the exception, not the rule. Enjoy it when you're getting those kind of returns. But I'm good with 50, 60, 70% on blue chip stuff all day long. We're doing 30% on some stablecoin pools. That's wild. My savings account does a fraction of that. And I could do that on the blockchain. And so it's all about perspective and having a long-term vision. I think a lot of people playing this game have a short-term vision, and they're being plagued by human biases that really affect the investor. Let me know if you want me to do a video on the human biases. This is more psychology, but once you understand this, you'll catch yourself when you're making a bad decision being like, oh, that's a human bias. I'm aware of it. Let me go left when I was about to go right because now I'm aware. Let me know if you want a video on that. It's huge. That's huge. That alone can literally turn a very poor investor or investor who just keeps losing money into a winning investor just by understanding human biases, especially the top 6 that affect investors. So do let me know in the comments if you want that. Hang on in Crystal and in the comments, let me know, what are some of your favorite blue chip pools and pairs? Or maybe you're just holding and stacking in your bull run. What are some of those? And now people can read the comments and say, oh, Bitcoin, oh, ETH, oh, Render, oh, Sol, oh, whatever that may be for you. Really, really curious about that. With that said, like this video, subscribe to this channel. I'm going to get out of here. So this video is not 8 hours long, but I will leave 4 other videos on the screen for your viewing pleasures. Dive in deep, study this stuff. We got a bunch of free courses we'll be releasing over the next few weeks. Let me know if you want access to those. Keep your eyes peeled for that. And with that said, we'll talk to you soon. Peace.